Winter time has come and the snow's coming, and there's a little girl across the ocean again in the land of Italy named Picciola. And Picciola was a beautiful little girl with long ringlets. She didn't have a daddy, he was dead. She didn't have any brothers or sisters. There was just her and her mommy, and they lived in a house that was very old and very big, but it had once been a grand house. And Picciola loved her mother very much, and her mother loved Picciola very much. But she had to go and work all day long and couldn't be with her little girl except on Sundays. And so she had to, and she had no one to look after Picciola. She felt so bad, but every day that she'd have to go to work, she would lock the big door to the front, and Picciola could go in the backyard that had a high wall all around it, and she could play with an old doll that her mother had found, and some of the hair had come off, but she loved it anyway because it's all the toys she had to play with, and she would play all day, either in the house or out. One day, Picciola found something very interesting. She got a stool and she stood on it because there was a hole up in the wall. And she looked through, and all the way through this thick wall was a beautiful garden. And she would climb up there and look at that beautiful garden. And that's Mr. Sullivan's garden. And then the mother said, Mr. Sullivan is leaving, and he has left the house, and some American family has bought the house, and they have children to play. They have children that play out in the yard, and maybe you can watch them play. Oh, Picciola wanted to play with them so much, and they could talk a little bit of her language, and she could talk a little bit of theirs, but she didn't tell them she was there, but she would look through and watch them play, and they would play ball, and they would play all kinds of games and run and have a good time. She wished she could play with them, but she didn't say a word. And then one day, the big brother threw the ball, and it missed the little girl, and she ducked, and that ball went right in that hole. And when they reached in to pull out the ball, what was behind that ball but two little black eyes looking through? Who are you? And it wasn't long before they learned to be friends together, and the father came over and asked the mother if he could make the hole big enough so that Picciola could crawl through, and she could come over and play with the children. And the mother said that would be fine. And that's what they did. And they became such good friends. And they shared their toys with Picciola. And they did all these things. And it started to get colder and colder. And then it started to snow. And then the children started talking about a thing called Christmas. And Santa Claus. Someone called Santa Claus. Picciola didn't know about Christmas. She didn't know about Santa Claus. Who is that? And so they told her all about Christmas, and Christmas Eve, and Christmas trees, and hanging stockings up at the chimney, and all the things. And she went home and told her mother all these wonderful things. Mother, why didn't we know about Christmas? Well, you see, we haven't got any money, and we've been so poor that, and who they call, the American children call Santa Claus, we call St. Nicholas. But I'm sure St. Nicholas has forgotten all about us because he has never come for many years. I'm sorry, Picciola, but I don't think he ever will come. Well, what did St. Nicholas do? Did he hang up a stock? Did they hang up stockings for him? What did he do? Well, in our country, we would take your wooden shoe and put it right by the fireplace. And then St. Nicholas would come and put a gift in the wooden shoe. Well, that's what I'm going to do, said Picciola. Oh, Picciola, I don't know if he will ever find us. He hasn't for many years. And tears were in Mother's eyes. And Picciola said, well, I think he will. And I'm going to put my shoe. And sure enough, on Christmas Eve, after she had played with all the children, and they had showed her the Christmas tree with the gifts under the Christmas tree, and the gift they had for her, and everything, and she went home and she thought, Mother, today is Christmas Eve. And she took her little wooden shoe off and put it right by the fire on the hearth. Oh, said her mother, Picciola, please don't be surprised if he can't find us. She had nothing to help with that. And so they went to bed. And that night, a strange thing happened. There was a little bird, a little skylark, got caught in the chimney and couldn't fly. It hurt his wing and couldn't fly and flew down and fell down into the chimney. And there, right before he got burned, was able to get out and found a nice little bed in a wooden shoe. The next morning, Picciola could hardly wait. She woke up, she rubbed her eyes. It's Christmas, she said. And she went in the fireplace that had long gone become cold ashes. And there, in her shoe, she thought was empty, but she looked, and there was a little bird in her shoe. Mother, St. Nicholas did come. He brought me a present. He brought me a little bird. She's hurt her wing. And so Mother fixed the wing so that it would get all better. And then Picciola could hardly wait to get dressed. And out she went and through the hole. And the children were coming too, and they were going to come over to her house because they had presents for her. And when they saw the little bird in the shoe, they said, of all the presents, this is the best one of all. And Mother said, up in our attic we have a bird cage. And they went up and got the bird cage and fixed a nice little nest in there for the little bird. And oh, Picciola was so excited, for this was her first Christmas, and this was the first time that she had a wonderful little gift. And she shared that toy. That's all she had to share with her friends, and they shared with her the toys they had for her. And they just had so much fun all the rest of their lives that they lived there together as friends.